For this section, we're going to start looking at multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. So we have our monomial of 3x, or negative 3x squared, times 7x squared minus x plus 4. And I want you to think of, if anything is outside of the parentheses, that we're always just going to distribute. So I'm actually going to distribute my negative 3x squared to each one of my terms. So when I distribute, I'm going to multiply 3x squared, or negative 3x squared times 7x squared. And that becomes a negative 21x to the fourth, because I'm going to multiply my exponents. And then a negative 3x squared times a negative x becomes positive 3x to the third. And then I have negative 3x squared times 4, which becomes a negative 12x squared. And when I finish my answer, I need to make sure that it is in standard form. So I have my highest degree to my lowest degree. And I don't have any like terms to combine. So my final answer is negative 21x to the fourth plus 3x cubed minus 12x squared. So let's take a look at another example. I have 5a squared times negative 4a squared plus 12a minus 7. So I'm going to distribute to each one of my terms. And a 5a squared minus 4a squared, or times of negative 4a squared, becomes negative 20a squared. 5a squared times 2a becomes a positive 10a cubed. And then I have a minus 35a squared. And actually, as I go back to review my work, I see that I wrote the wrong exponent here. So this actually should be a to the fourth. So now my final answer is negative 20a to the fourth plus 2a cubed minus 35a squared. And my answer is written in standard form, so I know I solved that correctly. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. So my first term, I'm going to get a negative 18d to the seventh plus 12d to the sixth power plus 6d squared minus, or actually that's 6d to the fourth, because I'm going to add my exponents, so 3 plus 1 is 4, minus, or plus, it is minus 56, or 54d to the third power. So for this example, we have a monomial times a polynomial, and then I'm going to subtract a polynomial. So the first thing I needed to do is I'm going to distribute this 2p to this polynomial. So 2p minus 4p, or times 4p squared, is going to give me a negative 8p cubed plus a 10p squared. And I'm just going to subtract that, and I'm going to bring down this other polynomial. So then I have a 2p squared plus 20. And remember that when I'm adding and subtracting polynomials that I need to distribute this negative sign. So my new polynomial after I distribute that is going to be negative 8p cubed plus 10 squared plus a negative 2p squared minus 20. And now I can combine my like terms. And my like terms are things that have the same degree with the same variable. And I'm going to write in standard form, so nothing can be combined with my 8p cubed. So I'm going to cross that out. The 10p squared plus a negative 2p squared becomes plus 8p squared. I'll cross those out, and nothing can be combined with my constant, so I'm just left with a negative 20. So my final answer becomes negative 8p cubed plus 8p squared minus 20. Go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try this one on your own. So I have 3 times 5x squared plus 2x minus 4 minus x times 7x squared plus 2x minus 3. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute my 3. So I'm going to get 15x squared plus 6x minus 12. And then I'm actually going to distribute the whole negative x. So that way I'm cutting out that step of then having to distribute the negative. So I can just distribute the whole negative x. And I'm going to get negative 7x to the third plus 2x, or negative 2x squared minus, or plus 3x. And now I can start to combine my like terms. And remember that I always want to start off with the highest degree. So I'm going to have a negative 7x cubed. And then I'm going to cross that off. And then I have 2x squareds. So I have a 15x squared plus a negative 2x squared. So I'm going to get plus 13x squared. And then I'm going to cross those off. Then I'm just left with x's. So I have plus 9x. And then I have my minus 12 at the end. And I went ahead, and as I was simplifying, I went ahead and wrote in standard form. So for our next example, we have an equation where we have to multiply polynomials as well as monomials. And so the first step that I really need to do is I need to first simplify. So I'm going to get 10a squared minus 4a plus 6a squared plus 18a plus 8 equals 4a squared when I distribute my a plus a, because 1 times a is 1a, plus 12a squared minus 8a plus 50. And then I'm going to combine my like terms on both of the sides. So a 10a squared plus 6a squared becomes a 16a squared plus 14a plus 8. And so I have my squareds and I have my a plus 8 equals, I'm going to get a 4a squared plus 12a squared gives me 16a squared. And then I have a minus 8a gives me negative 7a plus 50. And now I'm going to just move my terms so that I can get a. So my a squared cancels out. So I'm left with 14a plus 8 equals a negative 7a plus 50. And remember, at this point, it does not matter if you move which a's you move or if you move the constants first. It's all going to work out. So I'm actually going to subtract 8 from both sides. There's my 0 pair, so I get 14a equals negative 7a plus 42. I'm going to add 7a to both sides, and I get 7a equals 42, and so when I divide by 7 on both sides, a has to equal 6. Go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try this one on your own. So I need to distribute my 2x first. So I'm going to get a 2x squared plus an 8x plus 7 equals x plus 8 plus 2x squared plus 2 plus 12. There's nothing to simplify on this side of the equation sign, so I'm just going to really look towards the right of the equation sign. And when I do that, I'm just going to rewrite the left side first. So I have 2x squared plus 8x plus 7 equals 2x squared plus x, and then 8 plus 2 plus 12 gives me 22. I realize that my 2x squareds are going to cancel out because I have 1 on both sides. So there's my 0 pairs there. So I get 8x plus 7 equals x plus 22. I'm going to subtract x. So 7x plus 7 equals 22. I subtract 7 from both sides, and I get 7x equals 15. And then when I divide by 7 on both sides, I get that x equals 15/7.